Good morning and good afternoon. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the webinar. My name is Brandon. Very good to see everyone. We see people filing in already. Happy Tuesday. Happy spring. I hope that the weather is calm where you are. I know there's been some stuff going on out there. Salt Lake City, Utah here. We actually had snow briefly yesterday. Unfortunately, those things happen in May. We'll see if it kills my garden or not. But yeah, I see people filing in. Just as a reminder, those of you that are registered for this, all the recordings you're going to get access to, basically all the recordings for all of these webinars, whether you're here live or not. I know some of you are on our website, promevo.com, viewing the webinar there. Some of you are in StreamYard. Regardless of where you are, over on the right side of your screen, you should see a little comment section. That's where we'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to chime in with your own thoughts on something, we'd love to interact with you. Regarding questions, drop them in as you see fit. If something hits your fancy and you want to ask about it, we will try, if we can, we'll try to jump in and answer it live, but we will most definitely address those at the end of the webinar. So we're probably going to go for a little over 30 minutes or so today. So there's hopefully plenty of time at the end. If you guys do have a lot of questions, if you don't, then we'll wrap it up and call it a day. As always, though, you can reach out directly to us. Any of the emails that you've gotten from Promevo, you can just reply to. If you have a question there, we can address it in a future session. All of those come directly to me, so I promise they will be seen. Let's jump into it today. So what are we doing here? We are talking about Gemini AI adoption. So the backstory here is those of you that are working out of Google Workspace, all of a sudden, a few months ago, you have access to all of these Gemini tools. It's part of pretty much every subscription out there. Whether you welcomed the tools or not, they're in your org, and your team probably has access to them unless you've removed that access. So, surprise or congratulations. The main thing, though, that we want to emphasize is this is a good thing. These are good tools. These are super valuable. And there's a ton of benefit that your organization can get out of them. Increased productivity, super creative processes, deep research, improving someone like me that doesn't speak too well, helping some of those written communications. But it's way more than just write an email for me or create a Google Doc for me. There's so much that you can do. So what we want to help you do, what Promevo wants to help you do, is use it. Get your employees in there and get them utilizing these tools. We want to help guide you to guide them. So this is a 4-part webinar series, as you all know. Today we're talking about the power of workspace with Gemini. We're going to get into prompting on Thursday. Next Tuesday, we're talking about Gemini within Google Docs and Sheets and the other tools. And then next Thursday, we'll finish up with a deep session on NotebookLM. So you can sit in here and learn a ton from these videos. This is a collaboration between Promevo and Google Workspace. We'll walk you through, this has all been very delicately crafted, I guess is a way of saying it, to help you meet these end goals. So before we dive into part 1, which is talking about Gemini and Google Workspace, just a quick, who is Promevo? Some of you are clients, some of you are not. Promevo is a full-scale Google Cloud partner. That means we help with Google Workspace. We provide support, customization, and things like this, education services, and that's really what Colin leads, and I'll introduce you to him in just a second. But also, your Google Cloud platform, your Chrome devices, Chromebooks, and Meet Kits, as well as, of course, gPanel, our custom power tool for Google Workspace. So any of your Google Cloud needs, come and work with us. We will help make sure that you get the most bang for your buck and the most output for your organization and all your Google Cloud investments. All right, I've talked for a few minutes. Colin, if you'll help me advance to the next slide. Let's get into this. I want to introduce Colin. He's going to be the first expert that you're going to meet on this journey over the next 4 webinars. Colin is the Director of Digital Transformation at Promevo, And those of you that have done workshops or service projects with us, you've interacted with him directly. Those of you who have not, hopefully you'll get to meet him and get to know him in the future. But with that, Colin, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, thanks very much, Brandon, and welcome everybody to this webinar, the first in our series all about Google Workspace with Gemini. And this really does represent a very powerful new way of working. It brings the power of Gen AI, generative AI, directly into your everyday tools, enhancing your productivity and improving on collaboration. So Gemini in Google Workspace, it is not a bolt-on feature. It isn't a separate tool. It is an AI platform, AI tools built right into Gmail, Docs, Sheets, and every other application you have in Google Workspace. It is woven into those applications. So your teams don't need to learn any new systems. They don't need to change their workflows. They don't need to copy and paste out into another application if they're trying to use AI on one of their documents. And it is a wonderful AI assistant that will give you access in Gmail Docs to help you write. In Sheets, it can help you analyze. In Meet and Chat, it can help you get summarization of chat messages and Google Meet calls that you've been on. And it really is a wonderful tool that we have access to all of the time now. You also have the Gemini Advanced, which is Google's next generation AI. This chat application really does allow you to kickstart your learning. It's great for brainstorming, and it's a wonderful sort of planning application that you can have on your laptop and or on your mobile device. Always there to help you tackle complex projects, whether it's coding, doing research, any data analysis. And you can also build gems, which you can use with your teams to build AI experts inside your own job role and function. This is very good to help with repetitive and very specialized tasks. Also, you've probably heard a lot about NotebookLM. That is a wonderful new application from Google, part of Google Workspace. And this is really a revolutionary AI research assistant that every employee will find a use for. It's a great way to make sense of complex topics. You can upload your own sources into it. And once you've done that, you can get instant oversight or instant insight into the data that you've uploaded, ask it specific questions, and you also get the amazing audio overviews, which everybody likes, and you get the ability to share those notebooks with your teams. So we've got a lot to go through today. I want to give you a quick agenda of some of the deeper dive discussions we're going to go through. We're going to level set everybody's understanding and have a few slides about what is Gen AI. Then we'll talk about the new Google Gemini era. We will focus on privacy and security, which is naturally everybody's concern and interest. And then we'll share at the end some Gemini resources, and we'll probably have time for a demo as well. So what is Gen AI? So let's start with the basics. Let's define what it is. Let's explore its potential and its impact that it can have on your business. So in a nutshell, Gen AI is a type of artificial intelligence that empowers you to create content, whether it's text, images, or any other form of media more efficiently. But it's not just about efficiency. I think this really does represent a shift in how we work. It's a new era where we can significantly boost our productivity, enhance the collaboration that has always been incredibly good and easy within Google Workspace. And it does help us to unlock an unprecedented level of creativity. And this isn't a future concept. It's happening right now. As Brandon said, Gemini for Google Workspace was made available to everybody using Google Workspace earlier this year. and it's constantly getting feature updates and improvements continuously rolled out to it. And as the world is rapidly embracing generative AI, we're seeing how it is transforming a lot of business operations and how people are interacting with it. And naturally, business leaders across all industries are recognizing the immense potential that Gen AI has. And adopting it, you really do need a robust strategy and a plan to help you deploy it within your organization in a safe, secure, and manageable manner. And this is one of the benefits of doing the Gemini for Google Workspace workshops that we in Promevo have done, and we do for our clients and others to help you learn all of the fundamental skills of AI and make sure that it's a successful rollout. Talking about business, there has been a lot of mention about how AI is going to impact work across everybody's realm of productivity and how they operate. And everybody is probably familiar with Mark Cuban. He said that in the future, there's only going to be two types of companies: those that are great in AI and everybody else. So this is really the time for all IT leaders to adopt an AI strategy, work with their trusted partners, talk to their security professionals, their CIOs, their head of IT, their IT managers, and come up with a plan of how you are going to be able to effectively deploy the new Gen AI tools across all of your workforce. Now let's look at how Gemini can transform how your workforce operates. So Gemini does offer a wide range of horizontal use cases across all departments. I don't think there is a department or a team in an organization that could not benefit from utilizing an AI tool. It doesn't have to be everything in the entire suite, but just something like Help Me Write could really reduce the time that some people might be taking trying to do email drafting. It's a wonderful tool to help you improve the literacy and the tone of the messages that you're trying to send. So regardless of whether you're in a team that's governed by a CMO or a CRO or a CFO, Gemini really does have a place across all of those industries and all of those roles. And now let's look at some of the data that will help us validate the impact of Gemini in Google Workspace. And as you can see here, the amount of time that is reported to potentially be saved per week is quite compelling. This is almost 2 hours a week that users have reported by repeatedly using Gemini and other AI tools inside Google Workspace. And I do say repeated, and in the workshops that we have done across our client base in the last 9 months, we have found that it is that repeated usage where users do get the most reported savings in their time, and also in reports of the improvement in quality of the work that they are delivering. And also studies have found from the surveys that have been sent out that up to 77% of users would miss having Gemini if it was taken away. So this really does make Gemini in Google Workspace very much a stickiness tool. And a lot of IT professionals do talk about the stickiness of an application or a feature, something that people are going to go back to and utilize all the time. And that's where a proper deployment plan and communication and training initiative is really needed, because this is a fundamental change in people's workflows. So there is an element of ongoing training and communication that's required to help your users remember to utilize Gemini all the time when they're tackling their tasks. And then they will be able to see these values of minutes saved per week in time for repetitive tasks that they might be doing, and also improvements in the quality of their work. So now let's welcome everybody to the Gemini era, and let's have a look at some of the specific elements of Gemini and Google Workspace that can be of benefit to you. So as we had said, collaboration is at the heart of everything that Google does in the Workspace suite. For those of us that have been on Google Workspace for any amount of time, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 10, 15 years, we know that the real power of Google Workspace is its smoothness and all of the functionality that you have with regards to collaboration across your small teams, your large teams, across the whole of the company and the operation. Now with AI built right into those tools, we're adding on, or Google is adding on, some of its most advanced AI models right into those platforms. So you get the additional advantage of the Gemini app and Gemini and Google Workspace for easy, instant access. Excuse me there. Little frog in my throat there. So you get easy access to Gemini and Google Workspace across all of your applications. And this means that your teams get the ability to utilize the enhanced AI capabilities directly within their existing workflow. As I said before, they don't have to be copying and pasting text out of an email or a Google Doc, putting it in another application, doing an AI evaluation or a review of that document, doing some creativity, and then copying it back into Gmail or back into their document. You don't have to leave the application. It's there all in one place. So as we enter this new era of work, Google and Google Workspace is really leading the charge. So from inception, Workspace has been the real-time collaboration platform. Those of us on Google Workspace no longer send email attachments. There's no version 1.1.2. Please use this, Bob. This is the current one, .dox. We just have one Google Doc that everybody works on. We know what the latest piece of information is. That really is the real-time collaboration winner. But when you think of Gemini for Google Workspace, it is an enhancement on that really powerful collaboration platform that you have. And it's not just there as a standard tool. It's there as a coach to help you with your writing. It's there as a source of inspiration in the Gemini app for ideation. And it could also going to be a significant productivity booster in Google Slides for creation of images. And most importantly, Gemini for Google Workspace is designed with data security and controls in place. So Gemini empowers you to create compelling images, empowers you to organize all of your data. And again, it does really help you enhance the way that you collaborate and connect with your colleagues and provide the best quality materials and projects and resources and quality of work for all of your customers that you have. So Gemini, one of the best tools of Gemini that, as I had said a few slides ago, anybody could utilize is that, and everybody could probably utilize, is Gemini's ability to help you write. This is a fundamental tool and that everybody utilizes, an email client. We spend a lot of our time in Gmail. It's probably the first application you open in the day. You'll get a flurry of emails coming in. You might get added to a thread. Gemini is really good to summarize those emails and then help you write really great responses. When it comes to being creative within Google Docs or Google Slides, and in the Gemini app, you can create custom images. And it's also a wonderful tool to help you organize all of your data in Google Sheets. A lot of us used to make use of the old Explore button, a little green sort of star that was at the bottom of Google Sheets. Gemini is now a much more improved and enhanced version of some of that early technology, where you can just use natural language to organize and analyze your data. Not only can you use Help Me Write in Gmail for email responses, it is also a wonderful tool to help you write both short and long form documents in Google Docs. It's a great way to help you get started on a document. If you know you have to write something and you're faced with that blank page, you can put in a description of what you want the document to be, what document you're trying to create, and Gemini will be able to create that document for you. It will be the first draft, and then you can go through and revise that document. If you have an existing document that you want to improve on, Gemini is another tool, a wonderful tool for acting as your personal writing editor. So you can open up all of your previous documents, and then you can get Gemini to analyze it, revise it. And it's also a wonderful way to create very sort of stunning documents and project plans with its banner image creation facilities that you have. It's also a great way of helping you improve your writing overall and achieve a very concise message and refining what you're talking about. A lot of us are always on the go. We're always looking at our phones, and naturally, Gemini spans across all devices that you're using. It's available in the browser as you use it, but it's also available in the Gmail app on Android and iOS. This is a great way when you're on the go for drafting emails, revising emails, summarizing long email threads. And just today, a new update was released where you can now do calendar actions inside the Gmail app on your phone using Gemini. Now, this is something that I have used for the last 9 to 12 months. It's the ability to create custom images in Google Slides. Everybody wants their presentation that they're doing to be the most impactful, the most dynamic. We don't want to be spending hours looking through stock photos or struggling with a creative design tool to make our own images. What you can do with natural language and the prompt in Google Slides, you could just describe the image you want, and Gemini will be able to create a custom image specifically for you to use in your presentations. As I said before, we have a lot of us have been using the Explore feature that used to be in Google Sheets. Now you can accelerate your data analysis by using Gemini in Google Sheets. This is where you just need to simply describe your goal, and Gemini will generate custom templates or tables instantly. It's great at classifying data for building project plans, and it really frees you for strategic work rather than going in and trying to create all of the VLOOKUPs yourself. You can ask Gemini to do the analysis on your document and your data. And also, Gemini is designed to fundamentally enhance your workflow and allow you to supercharge your creativity. And using the Gemini app, you can have a very conversational exploration of ideas. This is a great way for enabling incredible brainstorming sessions with yourself or with your colleagues and Gemini. It's a wonderful way of refining your thinking and unlocking new perspectives that you might not necessarily have had. Also, it fuels your knowledge and your decision making quickly by finding and summarizing the answers you need across many of your resources. And when you're using the Gemini app, you can, of course, double check its responses so that you're making sure that you are acting on informed information and your decisions are correct. So the Gemini app is one thing that we've created shortcuts for ourselves. We've almost got like a PWA, a progressive web app. So it's a pinned application for ourselves on our taskbars. When we come to any thought or any question that we want to ask, it's something that we can turn to first. And this is very much where businesses need to change and where you need a structured rollout and a partner to help you with that, because this is part of that reminding users that they need to be utilizing Gemini and change the standard way of doing your workflows and utilizing Gemini as much as you can. Now, to enhance the Gemini app, you can build custom AI gems. This is an incredibly valuable way of creating personalized AI experts. And with a gem, you can create a gem for anything. You can create a coding assistant, a spreadsheet specialist. There are a lot of inbuilt Gemini gems that Google have, and you can create your own. And the easiest way of doing this is, surprisingly, using Gemini to create a gem for you. You can go into the Gemini app, describe the repetitive task that you have, and ask Gemini what sort of gem should you have to help with that task. And this is something that we utilize all the time at Promevo, and we've created a lot of gems for ourselves for those repetitive tasks. As I said, there are some pre-made gems that are available built into the platform. You can also copy and then customize those gems, and then you can go in and create your own gems. There is a video, but we won't show that at the moment, about how to create your own gems. But this deck will be shared with everybody afterwards, so they'll be able to go and see how you can do that for themselves. And now next, let's talk about NotebookLM Plus. Everybody must have heard about NotebookLM by now. This is the ultimate tool for understanding and synthesizing information. It's an amazing AI-powered research assistant designed to deliver critical insights, but crucially, it's grounded solely on the information that you provide. So you upload your own sources, your own files, you create your own tailored notebooks, you can share them within your organization, and then you can use that to enhance collaboration and knowledge sharing inside your teams. And the best part of NotebookLM Plus is it is a core service inside Google Workspace. So it has the same high level of features and security that you get across all of the other applications. And only today, as I mentioned, Gemini is constantly being improved and new features are being released. Today, the Android and iOS apps have been launched. So now you can use NotebookLM on your phone. You used to be able to use it in the mobile browser, but now it has dedicated Android and iOS apps. This is a wonderful new way of using and listening to those audio overviews on the go. You can really create your own personalized, customized podcasts with your data based on all the sources that you have provided it.
Colin, if I
Yes.
may interrupt, we've had a comment, and I think I would love to jump in and talk about it now, specific to NotebookLM. The question is, what are the fundamental problems NotebookLM aims to solve for individuals and organizations, and how does it differentiate itself from traditional note-taking apps?
So I don't think that NotebookLM is a note-taking application. It's not supposed to replace Evernote, OneNote. I know a lot of people use Google Keep, or some people just use Notebook and have a plain text file for their notes. NotebookLM Plus is a it's almost like having a professor. It's almost like I think of NotebookLM as the resource area of the library, that place where you couldn't really check out books. You'd have to go behind the glass door, you'd have to sign into the book, and you'd go into the resource library, and there was curated resource books that you had put in there. And there was a very, very clever couple of professors that you could then ask questions about the information that you had put into that resource library. And the professors are very much like the audio overview, where you'll get them to give you a summary of your data. So you can create additional notes based on the prompts that you put in, asking Gemini about your source material, and you can start building out almost like a revision book. But it's not really a place to go in and type up your meeting notes. But one of the really, really good use cases of NotebookLM is if you, like many people, you have recurring meetings. You might have recurring project meetings or client meetings, and you're using Take Notes for Me. If you put all of those Take Notes for Me meeting recordings, the Google Doc, inside NotebookLM, you then have a wonderful resource to then ask questions, to ask, have a timeline of conversations, or a review of client interactions over the last year. And you can also do, an audio overview, create a 10-20 minute podcast, jump on the treadmill, go for a walk around the supermarket, listen to that revision of all of your sort of client or project engagement, and catch up and have the latest information.
Yeah, it's definitely just from my perspective, it is maybe for me at least, the game-changing app that comes with Gemini. And I think you answered it well. It's like having a professor that is like standing there in front of you. And yes, we will have a demo of NotebookLM next Thursday, so stay tuned for that. But the one thing that I'll drop in that was completely shocking to me was dropping in a Google Sheet and basically having it analyze the numbers and the trends within a Google Sheet of what to me just looks like rows and rows of numbers. Just mind blowing. So I'll drop that in. But yes, the little marketing talk, we're going to have a full session on NotebookLM next Thursday, the 29th. So stay tuned for that. All right. Sorry to interrupt, Colin. Please proceed.
No, it's fine. It's a great question. And we'll quickly jump ahead. Everybody has access to NotebookLM Plus with their Google Workspace account. It is a little bit different. It has more features over what is available on a consumer Gmail account. Some of the key features are the ability to share your notebooks. You get analytics on people who have accessed your notebooks if you've shared them, and you can do some more customizations on it. Again, like we talked about with Gemini, and Gemini having a use across all of your business functions, there are a lot of use cases for NotebookLM, whether you're in sales, training. One of our clients was putting all of their training material inside NotebookLM. It's really good for customer support. You can put in all of your knowledge-based articles, all of the PDFs that you might have for different pieces of equipment that you might have. Create a NotebookLM for your specific printers that you have. It's great for marketing and product deployment. Adding on to NotebookLM is another wonderful Gemini tool, now part of the Google Workspace suite, and that is Google Vids. This is your new AI-powered video creation application, and this seamlessly helps teams create and build compelling stories through the medium of video. So Google Vids leverages Gen AI, like Help Me Create and voiceovers, to simplify video production. It's a very familiar workspace interface to ensure easy collaboration and creation. And this is really becoming a vital part of Google Workspace. And again, it does benefit from Google's robust security and controls that it has in place. We all have seen the shift in how crucial video communication is becoming, both for internal and external teams. Creating professional creating professional quality video has traditionally required some very specialized skills, very specialized hardware to get it done, and a significant amount of time. Google Vids changes all of that, because now your teams can very easily create those compelling video content for their projects, for their marketing plan that they might have, for their team updates, just by using natural language. And the AI is going to understand your prompt that you're asking. It's going to pull relevant content from your Google Drive, and it's going to build out a professional storyboard very quickly and automatically. And then all you need to do is go in if you want and do some tweaks, adjustments, add some of your own video or voiceover if you want, or use all of the AI powered voiceover technology that's part of it. And you could do all of this without any specialized training, because you just need to use natural language to be able to get started and build out your initial deck. Again, just like Gemini, just like NotebookLM, Google Vids really does work across any department, whether it's for your customer service agents, for your learning and development teams. It works for your marketers, for your leaders, and your project managers. It really does help them build more personalized communication. And this is great for any announcement you might be doing, whether it's team-wide or company-wide. And that we do have a full session on Google Vids, and that's available now on our website. But let's talk about privacy and security, because as I said, this should be at the top of everybody's mind. This is not just the responsibility of the CIO or the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, but security is everybody's responsibility in this day and age. And with Google Workspace and the tools that it has with Gemini, you need to know, first of all, that your data is your data. In Google Workspace, and when using Gemini with Google Workspace, your data is not used to train the models, and it's not taken outside of your domain. Your data is not sold, it's not used for ads. You are in control of your data. You have the ability to control and identify and protect sensitive data, and very importantly, all of your existing Google Workspace security and sovereignty policies automatically apply to Gemini features. So any DLP rules or context-aware access rules you have will all be adhered to and automatically applied with the Gemini features. And to stay compliant, Google Workspace with Gemini is one of the first solutions to obtain a whole series of certifications. It has all of the SOCs 1, 2, and 3. It has ISO 27001. It has ISO 42001. So Google really have spent a lot of time and energy and focus creating the most comprehensive set of safety, privacy, and security certifications. It's also HIPAA and FedRAMP compliant. I know FedRAMP High, the authorization for that was submitted in November of 2024. We would have to, I think the certification is still pending review by the Joint Authorization Board. So even up to now, Google, as we know, is incredibly secure and a wonderful platform to be working in. So let's now have, if we have time, Brandon, a quick demo.
Before you hop into the demo, there's actually a really timely question that just came in. that I think it's specific to the topic of certifications. And the question is using Gemini via the API also HIPAA compliant?
So Gemini versus the by the
Yeah.
API would be Vertex. That is part of Google Cloud, and I would have to check. I do spend, as you said, I'm director of digital transformation. I do lead our customer engineering team. We spend a lot of time doing Gemini for Google Workspace workshops and deployments. So I'm very up to date with all of those requirements. I'm not sure on the Google Cloud side using Vertex AI with the APIs, whether that would be HIPAA compliant. I would expect it is, but I would want to double check.
Yeah, we can follow up with you on that one later, Gus. Thank you for the question, though.
Yeah, very good one, and certainly something to, if you're in one of those restricted, controlled industries, always double, triple check whether something is compliant with your governing body. So let's quickly have a quick demo and show you what we can do. But before we do that, I actually want to talk about effective prompt writing, because before we start using an AI platform, we need to find out how do we talk to it, because you can just type in a couple of words and you'll get a response. But you're going to find the best response you're going to get out of any AI platform is by writing an effective prompt. And we have a whole session about prompt writing coming up next week. So, no, I think it might be on Thursday. Well, I will check. So to create a prompt, there are 4 main areas. We've got persona, who is asking for the information. Then we've got the task, what do you want Gemini to do for you? And then we've got the context. This is additional information that Gemini will use to generate a more specific response. And then we have the format. What sort of output do you want? Do you just want bullet points or a paragraph? So let's quickly switch over and jump and look at Gemini. So here's the Gemini app. You can see I've got Gemini Advanced. I'm signed in with my account over here. And then we can go and we can select different AI models. We can talk about them in another session. I'm just going to use the default one, 2.0 Flash. If I click on the menu button, I can see all of my previous conversations that I've had, and we can see the gems. But I'm going to start a new conversation. And I'm going to think to myself, what prompt would be really good to show people on this webinar? And then I thought to myself, I'll ask Gemini what I should be showing you. So you don't have to see me type in. I'm actually just going to copy and paste this in here. And as you can see, I have put in the persona. I am the director of digital transformation for Promevo, a Google partner. That's the persona of who I am. And then I've given them a bit of a context. I'm doing a live webinar on Gemini for Google Workspace, and I've come to the demo portion. That's what we're doing right now. And then I've given it a bit more context. Our audience is made up of business leaders, IT professionals, and admins. Now I've got the task. So I haven't done it in that order. You just got to have those as many of those 4 things as possible. Here's my task. I need to give them a demo of how they could use the Gemini app. Give me 3 suggestions for a demo that would impress them on Gemini's capabilities. So there's my prompt. I've used 3 of the 4 elements, and now Gemini is going to go and do some thinking and come back and give me some suggestions. So you can see the little star is still spinning, it's still thinking, doing its processing, and now it's finished. And I can scroll all the way down. So it said I could do a demo of an executive assistant. This is using Gmail Docs and the Gemini app, how I could draft a strategic communication using Gmail. And it's got some other suggestions down here. And then I've got demo 2, the IT Pros Admin Toolkit. It's talking about using Sheets and the Gemini side panel. Now we're going to get to all of that in another session. But what I want to do, I'm going to be conversational here. And I'm going to ask Gemini and say, I actually want a demo of just the Gemini app. and I'm actually going to comment it. I'm going to give it some positive feedback and tell it that these are really good ideas. These are great suggestions. However, I would just like to do a demo of the Gemini app, gemini.google.com. Please give me suggestions for the Gemini app. So I haven't had to put in my persona, my task, my context, because Gemini understands what this conversation is about. So I've just been able to use natural language to reiterate what I'm asking it to do. And it's said here, like, got it. My apologies for missing that nuance. Focusing solely on the Gemini app changes the approach. So now it's going to give me some other demos. Demo 1, doing a rapid research on competitive analysis. So this demo showcases Gemini's ability. That sounds like quite a good one. And in the interest of time, I think I'm going to take that one. So we're going to do a competitive landscape overview. So I'm going to say number 1. So I'm going to just copy that, and there are some other great examples down here. These are all brilliant, and you can do this sort of prompt yourself on your own platform, your own account, and see what responses you're going to get. So now this is the example that it's given me, the action, but I actually want to have a prompt for it. Great. Can you please give me a prompt in the format of persona, task, context, and format for the suggested demo of. I'm going to put that in. You can see I did have a typo in there, and Gemini is very good to recognize that I've got a small typo there. I spelled great wrong, and I didn't go back and correct it. But it's really good at understanding what I'm asking for. So here it's got my persona here. It's broken down and created a prompt based on that suggestion for that competitive landscape overview. So it's given me the persona, the task, the context, and then the format. And then here it is. Look, it's given me the actual prompt you type into Gemini would look something like this. So it's taken out the context. But this is a really good way of showcasing and training your users about how you would use Gemini and how you would craft your prompts. And prompt engineering is very, very valuable. We often spend a whole hour doing prompting sessions with our clients and their users to help them get a full understanding on it. So I'm going to actually copy this. And so I'm going to put in, as a strategic business analyst, give me a concise high-level overview of the top 3 competitors in the AI-powered project software market for medium-size. Oh, that's very good. And it's given me the format. For each competitor, provide a bulleted summary. So let's click go and see what results it's going to give us. So the Gemini star still spinning. It's still working, but it has done some analysis of AI-powered project management software. It's got Asana, and it's broken down. It's got some of its weaknesses there. It's got Monday. It's got the strengths, the weaknesses, its unique selling point, and then it's got ClickUp. So I love this. I love this as a demonstration because I didn't know what to demo for you. And so when I hit a roadblock, I turn to Gemini. And this is the one thing that we try to emphasize in the training that we do. It's utilizing Gemini whenever you can for all of your problems. It is a wonderful collaborator. It's a co-editor. It's a co-creator. It's a co-producer. And this is a great example of having an idea right at the top. I told it what I wanted, and then I was conversational with it. I told it that these answers were great. Where was it? I told it was great, but I revised what I was asking it to do, and I wanted it to be more specific, only giving me examples for the Gemini app. And I also already told it about the audience, your business leaders, your IT professionals. So that's why it picked AI powered um, productivity tools, because I went through and I did another, I revised my prompt and I built out on this example or this suggestion that it had, and I was able to get it to go down here and create the prompt for me so that I could then type that in. And it's a wonderful tool for ideation and creativity. And now Q&A.
Yeah, anyone out there that has questions that you haven't asked already, we have had a couple that have popped up during the middle of the presentation. Feel free to drop those in, and if not, totally fine. I know I promised we would go like 35 to 45 minutes. We're a little bit over that. But I think it's been super valuable. This is like really good information. And the main thing isn't that I've been given an, hopefully the mindset here that we're trying to shift isn't like, I've got this AI tool and, maybe my employees would use it to write some emails, but, instead shifting to like, no, we can really expand creativity. We can do deep research now. For me, it's important that I can consume information in different ways. I get a lot of PDFs. I ain't got time to read all that. So I put just about everything into NotebookLM and combine it with as many documents as I think are relevant. And I have it like talk to me, create a podcast that I can now interrupt and ask questions to, which is just, again, just mind blowing. So, and when you talk about some of these advanced models that they've rolled out, like Flash 2.5, it's well beyond, do this for me, like create an email for me, create an image, create a sheet, like a Google Sheet table. It's well beyond that. It's into like, teach me how to do this thing, or research, do deep research on everything I need to know about a certain topic. So we are getting a couple of questions in, so I'll stop my rambling.
All right.
Are the prompting techniques for Gemini distinct or applicable across LLMs? I guess, in other words, like, if what works for Gemini, will it work for other tools?
Yeah, this works for everybody. This format here will, persona, task, context, and format works on any platform, any AI platform out there. It's not specific to Gemini. We just use this model extensively, and the sort of like the color coding and the breakdown of persona, task, context, and format when we're doing our Gemini for Google Workspace workshop. So I would highly recommend people spend time learning about effective prompt writing.
And that's a great pitch for Thursday's webinar, which is going to be, a full hour, maybe 45 minutes on prompting itself. Like, there is a bit of an art and science to prompting. Like, you can still get good information from it just by asking basic questions, but if you really want to get the good stuff, it's good to sort of like guide it along, which is what prompting does. Yeah, and hopefully that answers your question. Another one that came in, Colin, is Gemini a tool we could use to create AI agents that can complete repetitive tasks, or does something like that require tools in combination with Gemini?
So we know that there are automation tools coming to Google Workspace. They were announced at Next in beginning of April. There is Google Workspace workflows coming, which will do some of that automation. Examples of that automation are you get an email that has an invoice attachment to it, or a receipt that will automatically get saved to a specific Google Drive folder, or you get a sales inquiry, and the details of that inquiry will get added to a Google Sheet automatically each time. Those sort of automations we know are coming. To really build out additional automations and sort of business workflows, that is really part of Google Cloud, Gemini Vertex, and which is something that we can help with. Our cloud architect colleagues, cloud services team have done a number of these engagements with clients, building out automations for document handling and processing. So certainly get in touch with us from that. Gemini in Google Workspace is very much an expansion of the collaboration capabilities of Google Workspace. So doesn't really provide company-wide automation functionality. That's more of a Google Cloud Gemini solution.
It is a good reminder though, like Promevo, that is a service that we offer. Like if you want it done, we can build it. We have developers that are fluent in Gemini and Vertex and other AI models as well. So, and Google itself has some really neat stuff on the horizon, like Colin mentioned, including a tool that I was just looking at this morning that we're going to be talking about soon, called Agent Space, that helps sort of tie in multiple apps. So you want one area that can talk to your Asana or your CRM or your finance tool and consume information from those into one spot. Pretty mind-blowing stuff. Rachel, thank you. And hopefully, Roberto, hopefully that answers your question. Rachel, so we asked the question about like prompting across different language models. There is a follow-up. And what about following up with a prompt like, is there anything else you need from me to address my inquiry? And she says she asked because she tried this with Gemini Deep Research, but it didn't seem to register. So like, I guess, and forgive me if I'm stating this incorrectly, Rachel, but just like, how do you kind of nudge it? Like, hey, like, what else do I need here? Like, what are you missing for you to give me like the right information?
Yeah, that might be a difficult one to answer here without more context of what was being asked. And I think deep research is you give it a task and it will go back and do an awful lot of analysis.
Yeah.
I haven't really spent too much time reiterating and asking it to redo that analysis. I'd probably start again. I have seen multiple times with AI tools, and I've seen it in Gemini. You ask Gemini to do something, and it will say, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't have that capability." And I'll just type in, "No, I think you can do it. Give it another try." And it'll go, "Okay, oh yeah, I could do that," and come back with the answer. And then I have, have asked Gemini, what does it need to get to my answer, or it's almost, sometimes it will say, I can only base my answer on the information that you've given me. And I'll say, oh, I'm happy with you to have an estimate, please do an estimate of what you think the answer could be. And it'll be, okay, that's a good point. I will evaluate what you've given me and then think to myself, oh, this could be the answer.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Rachel. Just another prompt. Come join us on Thursday at the same time. We'll be talking through prompt engineering. And this is like totally the conversation that we need to be having there. So those of you that are here or those of you that are watching this on demand, join us on Thursday. So just a couple of, I know we're right at time. So just a couple of like housekeeping things. If you go to, you were all sent a link when you registered that we're calling headquarters or HQ for our Gemini adoption series. Boatloads of articles and tutorials and videos. These are all posted there. We will have this recording up later today. Again, like, well, great use case. Take all of this stuff and drop it into NotebookLM and see what it produces for you. But yeah, just as a reminder, all of this stuff is here. May 22nd. Can you share the link here? Let me grab that really fast. I was unprepared, but I'm doing this on the fly. And 2 seconds. I'll drop it into the chat. There we are. So again, two more things. The Google Vids, like I thought that was just like, is this animated Google Slides? It is not. Like it is super powerful and does some really cool stuff that might replace a lot of tools that you're using in your organization to create like tutorial videos, for example. We also have a session on security and privacy. So if you're concerned, I know whenever Google added Gemini into Workspace, a lot of admins immediately turned it off. Like, oh, I don't trust this, or I don't know what this is doing with my data. We have a full like 30-minute video just explaining all the different certifications, all the different settings that you can adjust, what it's doing with your data. So those two are available in that at that link right now. Yeah, and that's it. We have 3 more of these starting May 22nd. It's Thursday. We will see all of you there and subsequent sessions. As always, reply to me, reach out. Happy to chat. You want to like tee up some questions for the next one. This is all about you guys and helping you, develop better skills with Gemini in your organization. So with that, thanks to all of you. Colin, thank you for walking us through all of this. Super appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we will see all of you on Thursday. Bye now.
Thank you.